Howdy, folks. What's going on? This is Outlaw Hatfield back at you one more time. I'm in the process of getting everything set up over here on this side. Give me a couple of minutes. I'm sending out some links. Oh, shit. An error occurred. Apparently, there is something wrong with the YouTube side. Let me, links. There we go. Now then. I'm going to try to get all the guys in here. I ain't making nobody any kind of promises. I'm running a little bit behind. Trying to get all this done as quickly and humanely as possible. With me, that's a chore. So any of you guys that's normally over on Matt's chat, if you check your links, I am sending them out to you. I know you thought she was going to get off easy tonight, but that ain't going to happen. Not if I can help it anyway. There we go. So how's everybody doing tonight? Fine, Ape, how are you, sir? No. Apparently, Matt's having some issues over there. His internet's down, so I figured, what the hell? I might as well start up early. So here we are. Somebody just jumped in. I don't know who.
Hey, everybody.
And Muscle, how you doing? How you guys doing tonight?
I'm doing all right.
I don't know what. I wonder what's going on with Matt. If you guys has got the emails or links to any of the other guys, shoot them out there. So
yeah,
one of the mods was saying his internet's down.
Yeah, Matt's internet's having issues. He can't get up.
All right.
Well, it happens when you get his age.
Yeah, you can't get it on. I mean,
Hey,
can't get
wait
on.
a minute. I'm older than he is. Well, don't start that shit.
Oh, now come on. With modern medicine, anything's possible. You'll be able to work through it, I'm sure.
Well, as one of my brothers would say, if the age doesn't get you, the number of kids you have will.
Well, I don't have any kids either, so I guess I'm a step ahead of everybody.
Not so fast, homeboy. I'm in that same family boat as you, bud.
I see.
Yeah, one of my brothers has got 6 kids, and he's like, even if I could, I wouldn't have time.
Oh my God. 6 children running around everywhere. Good God, man.
Yep.
Ooh, 6 children.
That would be a pain in the ass. Think about how much free time you would actually have in life.
Well, when you're like in your 50s, you'd finally have some free time, but until then, nah.
Dude, if I was to have a kid right now, I'm 45 years old. If I was to have a kid right now, I'd be screwed till I'm 65 at least.
Oh, at least you'd have Medicare waiting for you when you get done.
You see, that's why I put the cutoff. Me and my wife, when we got together, I said, look, if we don't start having kids by the time I'm 30, we ain't doing it.
Yeah, I would call that wise. But
well, see, I know how much of a pain in the ass I was for my father going through my teen years. I do not want to be in my 50s and squaring off with my teenage son in the front yard.
No.
Because the first time he knocks me out, he's going to lose all respect.
So, I don't really know what to be doing here. I'm going to send Matt a link, so if his internet comes up, he can jump in.
I got Matt's script right here. Travis has it, so we can just do Matt's show real quick. Just act through the role of Matt.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't think I could pull a Matt off. I don't have his career.
Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Matt. What's going on, everybody? What's up? What's up? Hashtag no sprinkles.
I don't have a foreskin over my eye.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Matt has to talk 90% of the show. That's the only problem.
Well, unless you bring Yankee in here, in which case Yankee will speak 70%.
Yankee was out there. I'll give him a link. I will give.
Go ahead and give Yankee.
Do
Get
it.
him in here.
Ja, das Strudel for Armament and Axis Strudel.
Well, I'm sure a room full of us can find plenty to bullshit about.
Oh yeah, exactly. Anyway, let's start off with this, guys. I have got a AR-15 barrel for sale. If anybody wants it, contact me. I'll give you the information.
So 5-finger discount from work already? That's pretty.
No. Nothing like that.
Oh God.
There's so many cameras in that place. I'd like to see somebody do that. That would be hilarious. They wouldn't get past the front door.
Well, here, since you're trying to sell an AR barrel, why don't you let us know the specs?
It is a 16-inch DC Machines M4 profile 1 in 9 twist. Melanite.
5.56 223. All right.
5.56 223. And anybody that wants it can have it for $60.
That's a good deal, fellas.
Is it a 223 wild or not?
I think it's just 5.56 223.
Okay. It'd be marked on the barrel if it was, but yeah.
Wild is what I have all my rifles in right now.
Yeah.
So, if you need the barrel, I got one for you for $60. It's yours, and that's a pretty good deal considering it's probably what, a $90 barrel. I wouldn't know.
I don't even know what they go. I don't know.
Neither do I. But I was talking to G earlier. G, yeah, if you could send me some of those cards, I would be very happy when you get a chance.
Yeah, like I say, we're about to make new ones because I already kind of ran out of those. We made one and the printing was bad, right? Like they tried to print black on top of black and it didn't come out right. So I complained about it and they gave me like a replacement set. So I had the good ones and then I had the ones that were kind of goofy because they were trying to print black on black. So I ran out of the good ones a while back and then we're running out of the poor ones. Anyway, so we're about to run out of them. I can send you whatever I might have left, and then we're making new ones for Tulsa.
Okay, cool. That works. Just, whatever. Let's see. I don't know if Heavy B's still out there or not, but I'm shipping him a link just in case. So what's going on with you guys? What's new with you?
Well, that reminds me. My books arrived today, so all of you guys that were requesting signed copies, you guys need to send me your information over at muscledogmafia@gmail.com, and I'll get the information out for you guys about how we'll do the payment, and let me get addresses so I can ship them.
I've read a pretty good portion of that book. I really enjoyed it. I've read about half of it right now, and I don't want to be a copyright editor, but if you're ever going to consider doing, or copy editor, but if you're ever going to do like a second edition, I got some good ideas for you too. Just as a reader from the book,
Me and you will get together and we will discuss those ideas, sir.
Heck yeah, dude. I'm loving it. And I mean, I don't exactly have a dog that's I got a corgi, so I mean he can carry his own weight, but doesn't have the physique to be, or the beast that you got in your thumbnail there. But it's good ideas about the nutrition aspect. I think that's a big one. Just the basic, just the dog, the personality of understanding the dog and the misbehavior that dog can do, the dogs. I mean, it's really, you cover everything in that book, man. I love it. And I've only had a dog for 2 years, not even 2 years, and you learn a lot, man.
That was the idea, was to hit them up with that shotgun method to give everybody, a good foundation.
Oh yeah, dude, it's awesome.
And yes, Ellis, I have your address. Yours will be getting shipped out tomorrow.
Hold on,
Okay.
Travis. Are you saying you never had a dog your whole life until 2 years ago?
We had one when I was when I was like 4. My parents had one, and it did get killed before I turned 5. It got ran over. So I don't have but just the faintest memories of that. But no. And see, I grew up in apartment buildings. We weren't allowed to have pets other than like a goldfish. So I couldn't have one until we got her. I mean, we rented up until buying a house in 2016 our whole lives. My wife and I did, which is weird, but that's just, we're a small family, no kids. So, we didn't need a lot. But yeah, now when we moved into our house in 2016, we got the dog well, I've had him just a little over a year now, not quite 2 years.
Right on. So you basically, when you're a kid, you can barely remember having a dog.
No.
Says,
I know we had one. I know his name was Sparky. He was a little gray guy, but I was like 5, maybe 6. I barely have memories of that. Earliest memories when I was a kid, pre-kindergarten.
But enough so that like you didn't like long for a dog or miss anything. It was just
no. I don't even remember walking him or petting or playing with him. I mean, I remember seeing him a couple times. Mom and dad have some photos, and that's it.
So then you lived in an apartment, and then you got married, and you lived in an apartment. So was it like that you'd been like wanting for a while, or was it something like, oh crap, we can have a dog?
No, as soon as we bought the house, we have a fenced-in backyard. That was the big one. Not that we keep him outside much because he's inside, but we've got the room, and we have no kids. We've got time in our life for another animal, and we're older now, so we enjoy having the dog in the house. We've got, we've had cats, but yeah, it's just we're kind of at a point, and also the price was right because corgis can be very expensive, and we got him for just a little over $300. And he was only 3. He'd already been housebroken, had all of his vaccinations and everything. So I mean, it was a really good deal for us because the family just couldn't take care of him anymore because of their lives. And so we bought him and brought him home, and yeah, that's pretty much how it worked out for us. So
I remember the first dog I ever got in my life. I was probably not even 3 days old. This dog, there was 2 of them actually, Mickey and Minnie, and they were apparently born the day I was born or the day after. And Minnie died when I was 3 or 4. Mickey lasted up until I was 15. I had that dog my whole life up to that point, just about, and I loved it. Anywhere I went, that dog was right on my heels. I can't remember a time when I didn't have a dog in my life. It's, up until I was 30 years old. So, it becomes a part of your life to have one. It really does. It's something that just, you miss it when it's not there.
Yep. And like Travis, I'll tell you something kind of funny. It was about 2 years ago. I was at an exhibition for weight pull, and I watched a corgi pull 230 pounds on a sled.
Fake.
No, it was on dude, pulling weight on a rolling sled is not a very hard thing.
I'll tell you, when he digs in, when he gets stubborn on you, he's got tremendous shoulder strength and leg strength. Even though he's got little legs, they got big paws. They can really get good traction on the surface. I mean, it's amazing. For only being a 35-pound dog, he's got, he's just all stout. Everything's up on the front.
I used to know a guy who liked using corgis as service dogs for people with epilepsy.
Oh, okay.
What are they for?
Well, one, they're good at getting help. They're not intimidating to people, and they're easy for people if it's physical issues to move around, if they need to pick them up and move them. And they're also really good about, they can carry just enough stuff. So if you have somebody who needs to carry medications with them or anything, that the medications and instructions can be held on their backpack.
I mean, what were corgis for originally? Are they on?
Oh, no, herding.
They're herding dogs.
Herding dogs, yeah. Oh, dude, this guy, he was a ranch dog the first couple of years of his life. He actually was on a working cattle ranch. I mean, he's pretty, yeah. When you get him out there, when our friends bring their little kids over, he'll wrangle up the kids in like a circle. It's hilarious.
He'll start going after the ankles, making them go back where he wants.
Yeah, oh yeah. He'll do that to me too sometimes when he's all excited. Their tails are. This guy, I don't know if his tail was docked or if it's naturally short. You never know with a corgi unless you know the parents. And so that's one thing is the tails are short so they don't get stepped on. And I know like originally from the UK they were used as sheep herding dogs and small livestock dogs. But this guy was out running around with the sheep hounds out on the prairie, man. I mean, it's crazy.
Well, that's the thing is that, you know, they're probably one of the oldest dogs that looks as close to as it today, looks as similar as it did to what it did in the Victorian era.
Yeah.
They haven't changed much. They've
got a good
dogs.
A loud bark, not a little yipper. I mean, it sounds like a full size. I mean, they're basically a full size dog with half size legs. You know.
Well, they think they're a full size dog.
Oh yeah.
That's what makes them so cool than other little dogs. They don't think they're little.
Yeah. Testes. Is this thing on?
What's up?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
It's cracking, homie.
Hey, Outlaw, how's it going? Appreciate the invite. Webs and Muscle and Gun and the Travi.
Yes. And
you know, I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. I am not Matt Hansen. You know, I just
actually, we all kind of look like Matt when you think. Pre-middle-aged balding men with facial hair and glasses.
Hey, I don't know about us all looking like Matt, but I'm pretty sure this is the Bald Club.
Oh yeah, definitely.
No, I got hair. I just choose to shave it. I'm not.
But
no, I'm good.
Whether you shave it or you're losing it, I'm pretty sure everybody in here.
Oh yeah,
that is a negatory. Nope.
We got one hippie in here, huh?
Yeah. No, I actually got a man bun. Swear to God, like my hair is down to almost my shoulders at the moment.
Do you play like in a rock band, so you just bun it up when you're not on stage, or what?
No, dude, I'm trying to go with that Antonio Banderas look, but because it's South Texas, I shaved the side so it won't be. So
yeah, so you're like a pro wrestler then.
Yeah, exactly.
Sweet, man. I like that. Or a hipster coffee shop kid.
No, I can't make Outlaw's favorite drink a pumpkin spice something.
Oh my God.
No. I don't do the Outlaw don't do pumpkin spice anything, okay? No.
So you don't do pumpkin pie?
Not really, no.
God. Pumpkin pie with Cool Whip, dude. Oh.
Give me a good cheesesteak or a cheesecake.
Cheesecake?
Cheesesteak will work too.
All right, it's time for
cheesesteak will work too.
Let's talk about holiday desserts. Let's talk food, Ellis. Come on, man. Work with me here. Let's do this.
No. See, midnight's
holiday.
probably
we talk guns and food
around out there, and just no. We don't.
No to pie or no to food?
No to midnight range TM. You start talking about food, he's going to show up, and that's going to ruin the whole show.
8/9/42. No, he's probably getting close to closing up the restaurant right now. He doesn't have time to jump in.
And ladies and gentlemen, we have been haunted.
Ghost.
How you doing, Ghost?
What's going on, yo?
Nah, not much, man. Not much. Ghost and I was actually supposed to do a one-on-one tonight, but with the things that's went on, I figured I'd just run this show. And Ghost, if we could do that one-on-one in 2 weeks, if that's okay with you.
Man, we got a whole crew today, don't we?
Yeah.
Let's just talk about some comic books or whatever, and it's on.
Well, Yankees in here now. We can talk pro wrestling all night.
Did everybody watch Daredevil?
Wrestling. Hey, there's nothing wrong with professional wrestling.
I had to tell TFB the other day that Ric Flair could still kick his ass because he was talking shit about wrestling.
Yes.
I would bet that there's several of them that's up in age that could kick most of our asses.
I mean, they got walkers, but if they just push those off to the side, I'm sure they can come get us.
Oh, I would definitely put Ming up there. Ming would definitely whoop everybody's ass here.
Oh, Ming? Did you say Ming?
Yeah.
Well, fuck yeah.
Well, Ming has this habit of biting
in his ring at one time.
Yeah, Ming's has got this habit of biting people's nose off in a bar room.
Yep.
You don't want to mess with a man like that.
No.
Here's the thing: if they've ever been in a group that was called the Anything Samoans, you don't want to fuck with them.
Yeah,
those Samoans will fuck you up.
Now, wasn't the Barbarian also a Samoan?
Yep.
Yeah,
he was his cousin. Like all of them are related somehow.
Yeah,
they're all related to every single Samoan bouncer that works in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
My guide in boot camp.
It's kind of like how every black or partial black wrestler can trace their rates back to The Rock's dad. It's same thing with some of the older Samoans. Like every Samoan wrestler now can trace themselves back to them.
Yep. You're talking about Rikishi.
Boot camp was a Samoan. He was 6'2", 225, and he was the runt of the family. No joke. Like his sister was 5'300". There was some large people.
Yes, they are, and they got heads as hard as rocks.
Yeah, I mean that was just bred into them from like warrior days, right?
Yep.
Oh, yes.
Just genetic, and God forbid you have to deal with a drunk one.
Yeah, I've heard stories. If you guys are into professional wrestling, go on YouTube and look up Ming stories, Meng,
Jesus.
and some of the things you will hear will just make you shiver. This
So,
man was a legit badass. You did not want to fuck with him. He would kill you.
like that.
And laugh about it.
Who's the one that said? What was it? Stevie Ray. He was talking about that one time in the bar. He had the guy in a Ming hold, like just holding his throat up in the air. What was that called? The Tongan death grip.
Yeah,
That's
Tongan death grip.
Jesus.
I mean, Peter Maivia, you just go back to look at his what he did and who his children are, and all of them are fucking badasses, pretty much. Like Dwayne Johnson is like the pussy of the bunch.
Yeah, seriously, and he'd still kick your ass.
He's arguably the smallest of the bunch, and he's still a big guy.
Yeah.
What was he? 6'4", 285.
Yeah, just big.
Yeah.
All right.
If you ever go to a bar room and you know you're going to get into a fight, you want 5 Samoans on your side.
Oh yeah. I've always
horrible.
My ignorance here,
I
but
used to
like
live next door to a Samoan family, and I always kept them on my side.
I'm sorry, Ghost. What'd you say there, boss man?
I'm gonna show my ignorance here, but Dwayne Johnson's dad was like a famous wrestler, I guess.
Yep, Rocky Maivia.
Yes, he was.
What was his name?
Rocky Maivia.
Okay, I didn't know it was his dad. Right on.
You know, I'll bring up a controversial topic. Does anybody else want to see The Undertaker retire before he loses his glory?
He's already lost his glory, and I'm
Yeah.
hoping this year will be his last match.
The Undertaker still wrestles? He wrestled when I was a kid.
Yeah, he's still
Well, aren't they on like their number 3 or something?
after he did his last retirement thing where he left
Yeah.
his boots and everything in the ring. I was hoping that was going to be it.
Yeah.
And they still
They
dragged him
trains
back.
for. He comes out and trains for 8 months so that he can do another week of wrestling.
It's not WrestleMania. When did he have his last loss anyway? I don't follow that wrestling
That was
anymore. I used to,
WrestleMania.
but was wrestling. That's what I thought. I remember watching that. Yeah.
He's what 30-something and 0 right now.
No, he lost against Brock at
One.
WrestleMania.
Yeah.
He let Brock Lesnar end the streak, and at that point, he should have just called it. When he called it quits, then he should have stayed calling it quits.
Yeah.
He's
That
really
should never happen. They should have never let Brock Lesnar end the streak, for one, because the only reason they did that is because they were trying to convince Brock Lesnar that he needed to keep wrestling when he really didn't care for it at all. So
No, you just wanted that, buddy. Well, ain't nothing wrong with it, but
So let's do this. Let's go through the room. Who's your favorite wrestler? We'll start with Yankee.
I don't
Ooh,
know. I
man.
can't even say it. I'm gonna have to say it's pretty close to being the Undertaker. Is one of my favorite. He's one of my all-time favorites. If it's not Undertaker, it's Mankind.
Mick Foley.
Yeah, I used to
Yeah, I
love,
can see
but I
that.
liked him best as Mankind. That's who I liked him best as. I mean, I liked him later as Mick Foley, and just but he always made wrestling entertaining. I've read all of his books. I just always found him entertaining. But I think Undertaker, I like it. Roddy Piper's probably real close to number 1 too.
Yeah, Roddy's up there. Roddy should be up there on anybody's list.
I've probably got like a 5-way tie for number 1. It's like Roddy Piper, Mick Foley, Undertaker, Ric Flair, and Dusty Rhodes.
Dusty Rhodes. Yeah, the American Dream.
Son of a plumber.
Yep, son of a plumber. I love I will listen to that Hard Times interview he gave 15 times a day because I just love it so much. That is the greatest single interview from a wrestler I have ever heard.
I'll tell you who I like to listen to interviews from, especially shoot interviews. And I never cared for him as a wrestler. In fact, he was one of those wrestlers I love to hate. But the one that I always love listening to is like these shoot interviews and stuff nowadays is the Honky Tonk Man.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
He does some really good shoot interviews. Like I said, never cared much for him for a wrestler, but he tells some interesting stories. He's almost up there with Jim Cornette as far as listening to the old stories.
Oh, I love me some Jim Cornette too.
He has a YouTube channel, doesn't he?
Jim, yes.
Or a podcast?
Yeah. Yep. The Jim Cornette Experience.
mm-hmm.
Adam, who would you say is your favorite?
Like, don't get me wrong. I got a tie between two, and it's pretty much the same guy if you think about it, but it's Ric Flair and DDP.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm really surprised to see DDP anywhere on that high on anyone's list, but I can understand where you're saying the connect.
Diamond Dallas Page.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
He is
Who's
kind
now
of
a yoga instructor.
And you know what? For a man who started wrestling at 35 years old, he had done amazing things in a very short time.
I believe it was it Mick Foley, I believe I was reading an interview from, and they asked him one time, it could be somebody else, but I think it was Mick Foley, and they said, how is Diamond Dallas Page popular? How did he fucking get over? And he's like, well, you know, there's a rule that you really got to live your gimmick. And Diamond Dallas Page was actually walking out of the building at the time, and Mick Foley pointed at him and he said, you see right there, the reason he's so successful is because he is his fucking gimmick. I mean, he is actually the person you see in the ring. They didn't have to make anything up for him.
Exactly. That's why I have always loved. He's a good wrestler.
Oh yeah,
he was
a good wrestler.
He's excellent in the ring.
Yep. I mean, he wasn't the greatest technical mat wrestler I'd ever seen, but he was good and he was flashy and he was, moved for a bigger guy and everything. So I was always fond of him.
Or then he'll hit you with that diamond cutter from wherever. Yeah, sure.
Stunner, Stone Cold Stunner.
Yeah, but he made that neck breaker look better than anybody else.
Oh yes.
I don't know, that RKO is pretty good though, man.
Randy Orton can't do it nearly as good as DDP could.
No, DDP was better. See, I've never really cared for Randy Orton too much as a wrestler.
I liked his dad.
Yeah,
yeah, of course, man. He was a cowboy.
Yeah. You gotta love somebody with a handlebar mustache.
Yep.
Yeah, true. Ghost,
very true.
Your favorite?
My favorite is probably two. I'm going to show my age here, but my two favorites growing up were Kerry Von Erich and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Oh yeah,
Steamboat was great.
I saw him in Omaha back in like '86 when they were at the Civic Auditorium. Dude, that was awesome. The WWF
we would go, growing in Dallas. I mean, the Von Erichs, they ruled Dallas, obviously. So I mean, it was just, I loved Von Erich, but Kerry Von Erich was my favorite probably of all time.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That didn't tell me your age as much as it told me where you grew up.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he died so young, so it kind of says my age. He was only wrestling in the '80s because he died like early '90s maybe or late '80s.
Because anytime anybody says the name Von Erich, you know exactly what region of the country they.
Oh yeah. But see, there was a lot of the wrestlers that were over in Memphis would come over to Dallas, and the wrestlers in Dallas would go over to Memphis because they needed to make money. They just traveled back and forth.
They used to share wrestlers quite a bit. I mean, they go all up and down the Atlantic seaboard all the time.
Yeah.
Well, that's because of
guest apperances by Andre the Giant or the Hulk at the time. He was not Hulk Hogan yet; he was just the Hulk.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
No,
he was just called the Hulk, huh?
Yep.
And he started out as a heel. Most people don't remember that.
He hit Andre the Giant with a roll of nickels. That was the first time I ever remember actually seeing him was in a cage match, like I think the NWA or something, and he hit Andre the Giant with a roll of nickels, and that was the first time I ever knew who Terry Mavia was.
Yep. Exactly.
They still say that WrestleMania match with Hogan and Andre the Giant was probably what made wrestling.
Nah.
Oh yeah.
It was a defining moment.
Mainstream market.
It was a moment that defined an era. I wouldn't say it defined wrestling because there were so many much better matches. Any match between Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes was better than that match.
Yeah, but that match brought wrestling to everybody, kind of thing. Like it made it.
Anything with Jimmy Superfly in it or Ricky
Superfly, yeah. See, I love Steamboat, man. He was awesome.
Tito Santana used to make some amazing matches. I was just surprised he never got bigger than he was. It was kind of boring, but great in the ring.
I mean, if we're talking about amazing matches, we got to do Dean Malenko versus Chris Benoit.
Oh yeah,
those were matches they had. And you want to talk about two technical wrestlers? I don't think you can get more technical than Dean Malenko.
No, Dean Malenko's a mat wrestler. I mean, that's what he was.
Yeah,
and he was good at it.
Yep.
G Webbs, who would be your favorite?
Probably like Sable.
yeah, there's
he did. He brought. Look at his screen.
I saw that. I saw that coming.
Right there, ladies and gentlemen. That
He's
says
saying
everything.
take your pick.
The Glow Girls.
You know,
is that Mount Fuji back there?
Topic.
Where's Mount Fuji at? Where's she at?
I'm not sure if she's in there or not.
Yeah, I remember her from when I was a kid.
Yep.
I remember they used to show this late at night after Glow Wrestling got done. They used to show like Japanese wrestling. Do you guys remember that?
Oh,
and
yes.
they'd take forks and like stab each other with them and stuff. I don't know what that was all about. Yeah.
New Japan Pro Wrestling, yes.
Is that okay? Okay, and they would like.
It's still on, yeah. It's still on.
Oh my god, dude, we thought that was just nuts after watching.
It comes on like Access TV late on Saturday nights.
WCW.
It's on Access. Yeah.
All right.
If you want to see stuff that made you think they were crazy, you should have watched some of the early when Funk and them were actually really doing the first hardcore matches that they brought over from like Japan and stuff.
Oh, it was lovely when they did that. I love those matches when they did those.
That stuff was so gory. I was like, oh my god,
this
is like they're killing each other.
Hey, dog, how about you? Who would be your favorite?
It's kind of a toss-up. I got favorites for different reasons. I mean, like, as far as somebody who was willing to sacrifice themselves, who always put on a good show because they were willing to injure themselves, it's got to go to Roddy Piper.
Yeah.
Piper was the
guy. He
liked
to bleed, yeah.
Oh, yeah, he was one of the best cut men in the industry. If you needed somebody to do something crazy and dumb, he was the first to volunteer. And then as far as, like, my favorite promos have got to – they came from Macho Man.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the Macho, especially back in the day, I don't know what he was on, but he used to have some out there intros.
Cocaine. It was coke. Let's just face it. It was the 80s. Everybody was on coke then.
You know what? I don't know if it was because he had such a beef about Miss Elizabeth with Lex Luger, and he was a coke fiend. It really bugged Savage a lot. But, yeah, no, those would be my two favorite, Piper and Savage.
Okay, Tardot, how about you?
I don't watch any things that you're talking about, but I know people that are complete spazzes, and I know they're not on drugs. So there's got to be people that just would probably thrive because they need to be super weird like that. But they're just naturally weird like that, right?
Yeah, he probably is because as far as I know, Macho Man. I mean, there was an interview with him just like 5 or 6 years ago, and he's still the same guy he was back then.
Well,
is he still alive? I thought he died.
He passed away.
Did a few years ago in a car wreck or something?
Yeah.
Did anyone listen to "Be a Man, Hulk"?
No.
Oh my god! So Macho Man actually did a rap song.
Yeah, that was his rap album, right?
Yes.
Oh god.
Be a Man, Hulk. It's pretty funny, but yeah, he actually did that. That was hilarious.
No one's mentioned Ultimate Warrior yet.
That's because the Ultimate Warrior was 90% joke.
Yeah, it was a joke.
That was a joke. That's why I said that. That's why I said that, dude.
7, 8 years old watching him, you're like, oh man, this guy's
a real fight.
There it is.
Ultimate Warrior.
And you know the great thing about that?
Everything
the great thing about that is you're not going to get a copyright strike on that else because no one's going to claim that shit.
I can't understand what he's saying. Just like
just a bunch of noise. Tardot, who would be your favorite?
Oh man, it depends on really who you're talking. Like what area you're talking about. Like if you're
talking to you,
being an entertainment, being an entertainer. Like I always loved Road Dogg and that whole Degeneration X routine. I enjoyed that when I was younger. But I can remember being a kid, and the ones that stood out to me were always Jake the Snake and Junkyard Dog.
Oh, Jake the Snake, that's one of my favorites. That would probably be one of the people I have tied at number 2, Jake the Snake, Junkyard Dog.
Yeah, exactly. Gun Snob?
Well, back when I watched wrestling when I was like 5, it was Randy Savage, Macho Man. And then that other guy from Tulsa, I kind of liked him for a while. I don't remember his name.
Travis?
I gotta go. I got 2. Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I really missed that 2x4. You know
Oh yeah.
He's just the original Patriot. I mean, dude, going out there with a cut down tree. That's awesome.
Before Hulk Hogan stole his gimmick with the flag.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm a real American. I remember that. And then the second one, the dude I don't know what it was. George Animal Steel, man. If you could just take a gorilla.
I forgot about that guy.
Yeah, green. He would just like dive into the corner of the ring and like chew out the filling from the I don't know what. I just fascinated by the guy. He was
he was like a high school teacher that wrestled on the weekends.
Oh God!
Can you imagine that guy as a teacher?
Yeah,
he actually, if I'm not mistaken, he actually had a doctorate.
Yeah, he's a really intelligent guy.
He sends out on camera. I thought there was something wrong with him. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot wrong with him.
He's the first guy I ever saw. He's the first guy I ever saw eat a turnbuckle.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The guy was just. I mean, I don't know if he was really a good wrestler or not, but it was kind of fun watching him when I was a kid. You know.
He was more of a like powerhouse wrestler. So yeah, no, he was pretty good at what he did.
He was very old school. He was one of the holdovers of the old school wrestlers.
67 through 88 was his wrestling career.
Now I actually got to put another first place in there because I am Mexican, so I have to do Eddie Guerrero.
Eddie Guerrero. Yeah. For a second, I thought you were going to say Rey Mysterio. And
he's good.
That's what I thought he was going to say.
He's okay, but he's not Eddie level. Like him on a mic was gold every time he touched it.
Yeah, Eddie, I liked Eddie. Eddie was.
I'm surprised no one said like Jerry Lawler, guys. Come on, what's wrong with y'all?
Eddie Guerrero had one of my favorite matches against Bret Hart.
Well, if there was anybody,
Bret Hart wasn't bad. I like Bret Hart.
Yeah. Now, no one take this the wrong way about Jerry Lawler because
I'm just fucking with you.
I've always loved Jerry Lawler. I like him as a commentator. I liked him okay as a wrestler, but Jerry Lawler would have never been Jerry Lawler if he didn't run the organization.
That and Andy Kaufman.
Yeah. Oh, Andy Kaufman. I thought that whole thing was amazing. I actually remember watching that live on television when Andy Kaufman got smacked by Jerry Lawler on Letterman's show.
And Letterman was like, "Oh shit."
Here's a fun little fact of trivia for you guys. Originally, the Undertaker's stage name was Kane, the Undead Undertaker.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he is a redhead from hell. When you saw him like in that tag guys group he was fucking redheaded as hell.
Well, he was red haired when he came to WCW in the early 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. What was his gimmick? He was just a throwaway person, right? Like
originally he was just supposed to be kind of a jobber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They brought.
At one point, I got to meet a lot of these guys because one of my roommate at the time was a professional wrestler. He was a jobber for WCW.
Really?
Back when they still had jobbers, and back when NWA and WCW were around, he was a jobber for them. He's got lots of videos of like Farouk sitting on his face and things like that.
What was that like? I bet.
I'm sure it was a lot of fun. But here's the thing: he was a big guy. He's like 6'8". He probably weighed about 370 pounds.
Holy cow.
So big guy, but he was also a drag queen.
Okay, man.
Wow.
So he would do wrestling on Sundays and drag on Saturdays. And it was and he was always a masked wrestler. He was, usually a masked wrestler.
Yeah. So
he could do different characters on the same night. He could be like two different characters same night because he would change his mask. But it was so much fun to go to the events and get to meet the actual wrestlers because, they all eat together. There's like catering and stuff sometimes before. So you get to meet a lot of them that way when you were like his valet.
You were his entourage, man.
Yeah, basically.
He got to show up as his arm candy.
He was billed as the largest drag queen in captivity because he was nearly 400
pounds. He was your roommate, huh? What does that say?
Separate rooms, by the way. Two bedroom apart.
Hey, speaking of really big wrestlers, I remember Hawk and Animal.
Yeah, the Road Warriors.
Yeah,
that's two more legitimate tough guys that you didn't want to mess with.
I love their gimmicks. They were like the first ones I remember riding Harleys up into the ring.
Yep. Now, my favorite wrestlers. Now, unless you've been watching a long time, you're not going to know the first one. Magnum TA.
Terry Allen.
To me, he had some of the greatest matches with Tully Blanchard, Arn Anderson, and Ric Flair. Nobody could touch those matches. He was just great when I was a kid.
Yeah, his career was just short because he liked to drink and drive. But
yeah, he had a horrible Porsche wreck that crippled him. Number 2 would have to be Sting, and then Ricky Steamboat.
I've never been a huge Sting fan, but I understand why a lot of people are.
Sting had such a he worked so hard and so long to finally get his break.
Oh, he did. I remember when he was, the blonde-haired baby face, when he first started wearing the makeup, so.
Yeah.
See, I liked him more when he was like the
Crow Sting.
Yeah, I liked him better then.
Yeah, that was when he oddly enough, it was his character that put him in the shadows that finally got him out of the shadow of being Lex Luger's tag partner.
Yeah.
Yeah. And before he had won the world title before that, on 2 different occasions.
Yeah.
And they never let him hold it.
They never let him hold it.
Well, they got to take it off of him because he didn't sell merchandise and he didn't sell tickets, so they would take it back off of him.
Yep. And then Ric Flair drop it to him again.
Actually, that reminds me because you mentioned the Crow gimmick. Raven from the Flock, he was a wrestler who was a little bit either too late for his time or out of it.
No, he was too early. He was way too early.
Raven,
yeah. Like I think
it was and he wasn't because I think he kind of paved the way for a lot of that stuff.
Well, I think if he had had his gimmick in 92, 93, especially with the grunge era being real big and music wise, then he would have taken off. But then he was at that weird in between stage where it just wasn't ready.
And I think one of the problems with him was I think it hurt him that he was in the bigger territory, the bigger company. Most people want to be in the bigger company, but I think he would have done much better in ECW or something instead of.
He had a stint in ECW, but it wasn't.
I think he would have been better served to have been there the whole time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, very much so.
He would have been a great independent. You put him on a big stage, I don't think he draws as much as the rest of the card. No. But independent stage, you put him in smaller arenas, he would pull fans.
Yeah. Well, see, I think he was a mid-carder at WWE or WWF at the time, but he would have been a headliner at ECW.
Yeah.
See, and when they put him in WCW, I thought hiding him with such a big entourage was a mistake. They made him more of a mouthpiece for his group than letting him actually.
I mean, let's look at who was running WCW at the time.
Oh yeah, Bischoff, right?
No, it was behind the scenes. It was that one guy that just drove it to the ground. By the time Raven got in,
Bill Watts.
Yeah, he got in at the wrong time.
Well, Bill Watson and the problem they had is they just kept listening to the old wrestlers that were doing all the booking, like Ole Anderson and all those guys, and who just refused to get on with what was really going on in wrestling right now at the time. So that hurt.
Nash and Hall were playing all kinds of politics at that time too.
Oh yeah, and my least favorite wrestler, which I got to give him credit for being such an easy to hate person. So he's obviously good at his job because he's my least favorite wrestler, Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, I can see that.
The Montreal Screwjob.
Oh, that fucking thing, Jesus.
But I just never cared for him. When I saw him at SHOT Show a couple of years ago, and I actually said to him, I was like, I got to give you credit. You've made me hate you for so many years. So that means you are good at your job. And he liked that comment. So,
oh yeah.
Well, that's his job. It's like Ric Flair. You walk up to Ric Flair and say, "Hey, look, I hated your guts the whole time you were wrestling." He would take that as a compliment because that.
Oh yeah, that was his job. Yep.
See, there's a wrestler that y'all are gonna get mad at me for when I say I hated him, but I hated him because he was so good. I couldn't stand Chris Benoit. Could not stand the dude.
I loved Chris Benoit in the ring.
He was a good wrestler, but I just didn't like.
You mean from a character standpoint?
Yes.
Well, yeah, from a character standpoint, especially when he was a member of the Four Horsemen.
Right.
I totally get why you didn't like him, but as a performer, I loved him.
Oh, as a wrestler, he was great, but his character, I could not stand him. Could not stand him.
I mean, I know.
What I couldn't stand was Neidhart.
Oh, Jesus.
In the Anvil.
I don't think anybody liked him.
Now, how about somebody? Here's some update news here. This apparently just happened recently. Roman Reigns was diagnosed with leukemia.
Roman Reigns?
Oh, that's not good.
Aquaman?
No.
Yeah, he looks like Aquaman.
Yeah, he does. But apparently they took the Universal title off of him, sometime this week because he was diagnosed with leukemia.
Going to have treatment, so yeah, he's not going to be able to wrestle.
That sucks.
So I just got that news earlier tonight. So that's sort of heartbreaking because he's a young guy. He's what, 30?
If that, yeah, I thought he was still in his 20s.
He might be 30 if he did, but yeah, he's young in his career.
Yeah, I mean, this could be the end of his career. I mean, do you think he has a chance to battle back from something like that?
I just hope he's well invested.
I mean, he is Samoan, so you never know.
All right, so who was the fool? I couldn't stand this guy there back when NWA was running WCW. He had Hollywood Hogan. Who was the Italian fool?
Razor Ramon.
Razor Ramon. I hated that guy.
Also Scott Hall.
Oh, I loved him.
Yeah, Scott Hall was one of those guys you loved to hate. Even when he was a bad guy, you still were kind of on their side.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's another one of those guys who, when you look at his early days, he really pushed the limit of some of the slams and stuff that he brought into the mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
Like the fact that I remember at one point he had a thing where he'd do the razor's edge off the top rope where he was basically slamming his head into the mat with the other wrestler.
Yeah.
He pushed the limits, but as he got older, he just became him and Nash just played way too much background politics.
Yeah.
I know earlier we were talking about just straight up powerhouses. I mean, I got to give it to Ron Simmons.
Yeah, Ron Simmons was awesome. I especially liked later on when him and Bradshaw were doing their thing. I really liked that.
Yeah.
Acolytes of Destruction.
Yep.
APA.
Yep.
Oh, that reminds me. How did Donald Trump, Jay Leno, and Drew Carey not get brought up yet?
Yeah, I don't think they count.
No, they
count about as much as Courtney Cox's ex-husband.
Or Pete Rose.
Oh.
Pete Rose has been in, 5-6 different WrestleManias?
Yeah.
He gets tombstoned, and that's the end of it.
No, I would give it to Cara Malone and Dennis Rodman. They actually did stuff.
Yeah, they did do some stuff.
Yeah.
Andy Kaufman wrestled a lot of women.
Yeah.
I used to love that when Andy Kaufman would challenge any woman in the arena to a wrestling match. But it was always planned, it was always, but still, it was hysterical.
Andy Kaufman was absolutely genius. He really was.
Yeah, he was definitely ahead of his time.
Yeah.
He went to Vince McMahon's dad, Vince Sr., with that idea. Let me come into the ring, challenge any woman in the arena to a match, and Vince turned him down flat. No, that'll never work. He takes it to Jerry Lawler in Memphis. Jerry loves it. He said, "Okay, let's do this." And go ahead.
I said, "Can I derail the wrestling chat for just a second?"
Yeah, go ahead.
I successfully got Facebook to back down. Screw them. I was right. I won my title claim.
Very good.
I don't even use Facebook really anymore. I don't know.
It's attached.
MySpace.
It's attached to Instagram, so I have to go through them because they run all the Instagram ads.
Huh.
What was the deal? What was going on?
They sent me a credit to do for my business account to run an ad, and so I said, okay, fine. If you're going to give me $20 worth of free credit, and then you'll match me another $50, sure, I'll do that. And then as soon as the funny part was they even selected the image that they wanted me to promote. I do all the process. I pay the money, and they sent me a thing saying I'm in violation. And I was like,
okay.
I'm like, first of all, you guys selected it. I paid. I used your guys' coupon and everything, which is the only reason I bothered to do it. How are you going to tell me I'm in violation? And I've been going back and forth with them since like Thursday. And I finally got them to recognize that I own the website that the picture's taken of.
Dog, repeat after me. Fuck Facebook.
I agree, but I like Instagram.
Oh, hold on. You're not repeating after him, dog.
Facebook, YouTube, fuck it all, man. I mean, we use this platform, but they control everything that we want to put out just about.
Well, that's why people like G-Webs and Night Strike and myself have created alternative platforms for people to go to talk about alternative things.
Yeah.
And that's what my ad that I'm paying to go through Instagram, that sadly I have to go through Facebook to run, is about getting people away from their platform and onto a new platform.
Yeah, and Gun Channels is a platform that people can use.
Yep.
Which is absolutely great. And if you're not a member of Gun Channels, I highly suggest you get over there and sign up. There's Gun Tube. That's Night Strike's baby. He's worked his butt off on that, and it's really nice. He's got it set up nice. Did he ever get the live streaming up and going, G? Oh, G left.
Yeah.
But does anybody know if he got the live streaming going over there?
Not yet. Coming soon.
What's the one that they do? No, wait. Don't they watch movies on one of these and live stream it?
Well, G was doing GunTube there for a while. When
Yeah,
he had the live streaming going, he was using GunTube for it.
So, and that was cool. That was really cool. There is just so many other options other than YouTube and Facebook. I just wish one of them would get more mainstream, get more people involved, and the gun people on here, the people that support the Second Amendment, we can move away from these platforms that's giving us all the trouble.
Yeah. How about Night Strike says live stream does work over there?
Oh, does it work?
Yeah.
Thank
Or
you.
is it, or is it the embedding that doesn't work?
Sure. I don't know.
I can't remember. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, it's here. I'll do the commercial for you. If you want to join the largest gun community that's pro 2A on the internet, go over to gunchannels.com, become a member. It's free. It's awesome. You can also support it if you want to. If you're looking for an alternative to YouTube to tell YouTube to give the old heave-ho, go on over to guntuber.org. Built by our own Night Strike, the one who strikes at night. Hit or miss Tuesdays at 9 o'clock.
Very good.
Yeah.
He's going to love you for that. And if I was you, I'd tell him to send you a check.
There you go.
Oh, and did everybody buy their lotto ticket?
No, not yet.
Yeah, my wife just came in and showed me the ticket that she picked up this evening. So yeah,
I drove to California to buy one.
Yeah, I don't usually do it, but $1.6 billion? Jesus.
Yeah. Well,
$1.6 billion.
My problem is Palmetto State Army has decided that they're not going to pay me for another 2 weeks, so I have to hold off on that for a while. Hopefully that'll still be there in 2 weeks.
See, the problem you're going to have, Ellis, is they're going to keep telling you that every 2 weeks. If something's wrong with the paperwork, they're just getting free labor out of you.
See, I would send you $2, but YouTube takes $2, so I don't know how that's going to work.
Maybe they're just saving my money for me, so when something I want comes in.
Oh, they're saving their money for you.
He's having himself an Office Space moment.
Can pay you in cash or 25% more in store credit. Oh my!
No, if they did that, I'd be in lots of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Because
what was that called when they used to pay the miners with like in-house credit?
Yeah, when you had company store.
It's like sharecropping, dude. Yeah, company store.
Yeah, they gave you tokens though, and what you did is you would use these tokens in lieu of money because they didn't actually at that point in time pay the miners actual cash. What they paid them with these little tokens, you'd go into the company store.
Yeah, you just
and
got
you would
grip.
Yeah, and it was basically a credit that you gave the company store. They would give you your supplies, and you were constantly in debt to that store.
Yeah, it was just clever slavery. That's all it was.
They would provide.
It's kind of the way Walmart is set up nowadays. They pay all their employees a wage that's so cheap that the only place they can afford to shop is Walmart. So they get it all back in business.
Yep. Pretty much. But the coal mines were smart about it. They would provide housing.
Yep.
They would provide the store. They would provide the shops. Everything you needed, the coal mines provided. So everything you worked for, you got from the coal mine. So,
which sounds an awful lot like a plantation.
Crazy.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seems like there was a song about that. Not sure.
Probably a few of them.
I don't know about everybody else, but here in Texas, we have HEB, like just a local. Well, I say it's local, but it's throughout Texas.
Man, I used to love HEB. I miss HEB.
They made in one state, what was it, $10 billion in one state. That's all they're in. So I don't know how they're doing it here, but I don't know if it's like that everybody else. Like, do y'all have something like that? Something that's just making Walmart go to shame in y'all state?
Not really, not around here.
I live in the state that Walmart's headquartered in, so no.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
Now, Walmart is slowly consuming my state.
How many of your Walmarts sell firearms?
All of them.
All of them here.
All of them
Yeah,
close
here.
to me do.
Well, you can only get shotguns and handguns. You can't get ARs here, I don't think.
Well, up until last month, ours did. And now they've stripped it completely dry. There's not a gun in there anywhere and very little ammunition.
Well, here a few years ago, all of ours quit selling them except for like one in each area, but they all got them back within just maybe 6 months of that. I guess they changed their mind.
The only downside is the Walmarts in my area. Good luck ever getting anybody behind the damn counter.
Exactly.
Oh, I'll go grab somebody. I'm sorry. I'm like, hey, you come here now.
See, I don't have those worries anymore.
Yeah, I can safely say, just like even today, I saw a knife when I was walking through the section, and I was like, ooh, I want that knife. I will buy that. Can I get some help? We'll have somebody right with you.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you leave me at a counter on an impulse buy for longer than 2 minutes, I'm going to talk myself out of buying it.
Well, speaking of knives, I seen a very nice Spaderico yesterday that I fell in love with. Ghost, thank you for all your support when me getting this job. But brother,
You're welcome.
it's going to cost me some money in the end.
Sounds like a personal problem to me, man.
So instead of paying your taxes, Outlaw, this is what you do. You take all your tax money that you're going to pay and put it in a fund. And like every 2 months or so, you just go buy something you want.
And by the way, Yankee, since I've got you here, I want to say this. I think what you're doing for veterans, giving them that gun away every month, is a wonderful thing. Thank you so much for doing that, because there's a lot of them out there that needs it, and just
I don't know if it was actually necessary, because about half of the people that win our regular weekly giveaway are veterans, but people wanted to do something specifically for veterans, and I was like, yeah, that's fine with me. So
yeah, and it also gives the other people a chance. The other half, I guess.
Yeah, there are people out there that wants them and can't afford them, or are just in that situation. And what you're doing is a great thing, and thank you.
I don't know how many guns we've supplied so far. It's been an average of about 5 a month. So
I think the count's up to like 25, ain't it, Yankee?
Yeah, it's been a while now we've been doing it. So
now, do you have a separate website for the veteran one you're doing, or is it the
it's just
same?
a link on the website, the TYMP.
Now, do you go through your same FFL for every gun, or do you spread the wealth over other gun shops?
I pretty much use the same FFL for almost every
they gotta
gun.
love
Now,
you for
sometimes,
that.
Like if someone wants a special gun,
Yeah.
but see, the thing is, my FFL doesn't make any profit off the guns.
Well, sure, but still, they love the. I mean, they're getting plenty of advertising from you.
Yeah, they get advertising. Yeah, so that's what they do it for, and that's where they believe in the project. But yeah, they sell me the stuff at cost. So.
Oh, since we're talking about Yankee, I did my homework for you, but
really?
it's not match chat, so I don't know if I should bring it up.
Oh,
Well,
I don't think anyone care.
And you can bring up anything you want to bring up here. I don't care.
Oh, Jesus. Now I got to find the shit. Damn it.
It was just basically.
Well, see, why did you run your mouth if you didn't have it sitting in front of you?
Oh, he watched a video that he
something in
wanted me
her
to
mouth.
watch, but then I didn't have time to watch, so I told him to write me a synopsis of it. And
Oh, well, this ought to be interesting.
No. It's
Especially
not that
coming
much.
from him.
So,
Can you read your own writing? That's the first question.
no. Well, that's why they have Notepad.
as long as it's not in
Oh.
Spanish, we'll be all right.
Exactly.
It was about Hank's response to you about the Gun Collective Roundtable thing that you were up in arms about, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, you're pissed off and want to copulate with everybody. he's made a point that everybody needs to actually view the roundtable thing, and then instead of just taking your word for it. He made also a point saying some people don't have a clear lens when looking at certain issues. I'm assuming that's a shot at you. Probably not. Who knows? He does agree with you that Chad was really wrong for talking about the bump stocks and how reciprocity could be a thing if they took that away. He also said that you like to be a bit of a troll at times, which is true. He went on about the roundtable, his perspective on it. The only one that kind of had your back was Walter. Walter School.
Oh.
But are we talking about that roundtable from months ago?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like a year ago.
That's still a conversation.
It was loaded on October 20th, 2018. So
I don't know where it went, Callie.
Yep. Patrick asked. Go ahead.
They suffered
It's
long
down here, so you must have dropped it over there.
They suffered a lot
You
of long
dumbass.
issues from that, so they
You
haven't.
dumbass.
Oh yeah. Patrick asked Hank, where did you come in on this?
I can't.
Hank is saying that that you like to be a troll just to get views because of saying fuck this person, fuck that person. Walter then chimes in saying that you are that's your stick. That's what you like to do, and it gets you views. But he also said that you have half of a point about the 2A thing, and
it was a bunch of fucking industry cucks acting like industry cucks.
Exactly.
And that's all it was.
He also said that you don't shoot, which we know better because you do videos on shooting now.
Yeah, I've had videos on shooting for years. I just don't film every time I go to the range because I'm not one of these guys trying to make themselves seem like they're something.
Now he did come up with one good thing, that why are we treating each other like the enemy instead of trying to band together?
Well, because there's so many people in the gun community that are the fucking enemy.
Makes sense.
All they care about is profit, and they'll sell you out for it. All they care about is views, and they'll lie to you for them. And those people are the fucking enemy. I'm sorry.
Now, again, it was my synopsis, so you might want to read. You might want to actually listen to it and make sure that I'm saying it right. But that's what I pretty much got from it.
I doubt I would watch it. But here's the thing: like I said in my own chat the other night, anything anybody's got to say about me when I'm not there, I really I'm not that concerned about. It's stuff that they'll say when I am there that I will put more credence to, and all these people know I'm accessible. I'm not hard to get on a chat. Hell, I'm fucking in here, for God's sakes.
Thank you.
Anytime they want to say anything to me, they can say it to me, but they choose not to. So that tells you more about what they have to say than anything else.
This is the chat that Yankee said, I'll never be on one of Ellis's chats. I want to match chats one night, and here he is.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'll put it like this.
Oh, wait, this is Ellis's chat?
You're now one of the outlaw clan. Congratulations, Jake. You've made it.
Dude, he straight up said, "Fuck, I'm out. I am out."
I said this the other day in a video I made. Actually, I made a video about Yankee and for his pistol project. But and what I said in that video is very much true. I mean, I'm somebody who disagrees with Yankee about 70% of the time. And there's a lot of gun channels out there that I don't always agree with. It's an important thing that we do need to find a way that even though if we don't agree on everything, that the community needs to support each other. And some of these guys who, like Yankee was talking about, who focus just on, building their own brand and are willing to sell out for that brand. I mean, don't get me wrong. Everybody wants to sell out for the right price. But it's what they're willing for that seems to be the biggest divider.
Well, I think the biggest problem is it's not necessarily the price. It's fame or whatever, but it's what you sell out. It's not how you sell out. Are you going to sell out your principles, or are you going to sell out? I mean, that's the one that gets me is if your mission is to do something, and then you're obviously doing something else for a paycheck. And that had no time
I
for
should have
that.
phrased that better. I should have phrased
Well,
that
I
better,
understand what
'cause
you're
that's
saying,
what I'm
Doc.
trying
Yeah,
to
I
say.
understood what you're saying. Yeah, for sure.
I actually filmed a video today that I'll probably post tomorrow or Wednesday, where I'm talking about when people are always like in my chat or in comments they send to me, or they're bitching about channels that are getting rich off selling merchandise. And I'm like, well, why would you care if someone makes money off their channel as long as they're doing it in an honest way? The only time you should care, the only time I ever get mad at a channel for any type of success, because I think success is what they should be trying to achieve to be able to spread the word. The only time I get mad at someone for their success is if they lie to you to sell a product, or if they sell out gun rights, or if, like fucking Hickok, or if they don't use their platform. If they're a fucking elitist who pretend to be something else on video so that they can make money, but then behind the scenes, they do not like most gun owners and they don't care about the Second Amendment being available to everybody. And that's fucking Hickok to a T. He doesn't use his platform for anything positive. He will only show up at paid signing events. He will only shill for companies that give him a lot of money, even if they're shitty companies. He'll spread lies for the NRA as long as the check clears. And as far as doing something positive for the gun community, name one thing he's ever done positive for the gun community, or any one thing he's ever done on camera that actually taught anybody anything.
Crickets.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Well, I like when he shoots stuff.
Here's what I'm going to say. I will say one good thing for Hickok. Okay, one good thing, and that's that. At least from a presentation standpoint, I can't even tell you the number of young people I've met who've gotten interested in firearms because they told me about videos they've watched of his. So from an informational standpoint, I will say that is one good thing he's done.
That's the thing. He's got that huge audience, and what does he have them do? What does he mobilize them to do to go out and make a change? Or what does he do? Mobilize them to do the right thing? Nothing. He feeds them bullshit from Bud's Guns. He feeds them bullshit from the NRA. He's more damaging to the actual Second Amendment. He personally is kind of a jackass and very elitist when it comes to other gun owners. So I just don't find any redeemability in the guy.
Speaking about other gun channels, besides the ones that we know of, the ones here, has anyone actually reached out to you about your TYMP pistol project?
No,
and veterans?
Not one of them will do anything to promote the TYMP pistol project.
Well, you got gun channels for that, so who else do you need?
Well, how about somebody besides me make one?
Yeah, I don't do videos.
Imagine if we could get it to where we had enough supporters to do 2 guns a week instead of 1. But that's never going to happen with me just preaching to my base. I'm going to need other people to speak about it too. Yeah, but they're not willing to. And I don't know, is it because they think that if they say I'm doing it, people are going to start asking them why they're not doing it, especially channels that are bigger than me and make more money than my channel does? Or are they just, is it something against me personally? They just don't like me. I'm like, well, you can't overlook that petty thing to help other people.
No, they're threatened by you, bro. They're threatened by you.
You have to ask, what is it? What is the reason why you won't mention it? Some of them will say, oh, well, I don't like to get into that aspect of things, but they're selling fucking generators on their channel.
Well, in some cases, I think it's a mixture of people who honestly don't like you. And I think it's also a mixture of sometimes, like, I don't know about what if you have any relationship with Matt from Demo Ranch or not, but that guy's got like 3 channels going on and like 5 businesses. I don't even know if he knows who anyone else is in terms of our
and he's all about money. I mean,
he doesn't care.
It's all about money.
Yeah.
If you would have seen what he did at NRA, just to be a spectacle to bring attention to himself, you'll know all you need to know about Matt.
Oh, you mean the mask and wig, or the wig and glasses?
Yeah, I mean it was just
that
atrocious.
NRA, he was just a big old fuck boy.
Yeah,
it was atrocious.
So from my perspective, because I've been doing all the Instagram stuff, reposting the stuff, and I follow a couple of people who are pro-A Second Amendment supporters. People in the past have tried to do this before, but it turns out to be a scam, and that's what they're afraid of.
See, and that mine is definitely, and I think there's some out there right now that are fucking scams. But see, that's one of the reasons why I don't choose winners myself, period. I don't involve myself in that at all. I let Vincenzo Lombardo and all his band of merry losers choose the winner. And I mean losers in the most endearing way possible. Because you got to be kind of a loser if you got time to read all those fucking emails.
Thanks.
And two, I'll use the same FFL to obtain the guns and send the guns. So I've told people, anytime you want to know how many guns I'm sending out a week, just call Sporting Systems in Vancouver, Washington, and ask them how many guns they're sending out over the country to people that are TYMP winners.
Hey, how would that work? Because it's only for the U.S., right? It's nobody that's overseas that can have one.
Overseas, yeah.
Okay.
But you see, that's the thing. That's the way I do it. Is it's totally transparent and it's totally verifiable. The way some other channels do it, and one channel in particular, they've been talking to me now. Like he's like, "Oh, here's the gun I'm giving away this month," but then I give it to a special distributor who chooses who gives it to the winner, and I don't like to announce the winner because the other people get mad when they don't win, and blah blah blah. That's fucking scam bullshit. I do mine in a way that I don't choose the winners, and I allow a reputable, verifiable company that can show you the transfers on every transfer we've done, transfer every gun.
I'm kind of curious if those little giveaways from Classic Firearms are legit.
A lot of the giveaways from companies are not legit.
Yeah,
Damn it, I've entered a bunch of them and never won one.
Billy from South Carolina won the saw and machine gun,
Yeah, I wonder who won that 50 BMG.
Yeah. Because you don't, not that you'd expect those. I mean, unless those people had any kind of gun media connection, you'd never hear or see anything from them.
Yeah, what about the? I don't know about y'all, but I get the USCAA thing, the giveaway. Yeah, I get those emails. Do you think those are good?
I don't know. I've never known anyone that actually won, so I can't say specifically that they're legit. But
the company's legit. Also,
yeah, they're a legit company. So I wouldn't think they would. But companies do stuff in a way that, they'll put like in the fine print that the person has to respond within 24 hours or blah, 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 and this stuff. So they end up not giving away a lot of stuff while still following their own rules. You know what I mean?
I give a little bit of credence to them just to the fact that if you read through all their like fine print stuff, they're very clear about the winners can't be in any way connected to their company and cannot be immediate family members to anyone in the company. So that gives them a little bit more credence than others. And they are a super legit company.
Well, I get my concealed carry insurance through USCCA. So
there was another one that popped up on Instagram just recently that I saw. Geez, I don't remember who it was, but I'll look it up. Maybe I'll send y'all an email or something about it.
See how much Classic Firearms would show up at your house, Publishers Clearinghouse style. They just walk up to your door with the 50 and hand it to you, and they got the balloons and the basket and the flowers, and they hand over the rifle.
See, I think a lot of these giveaways that are held by these companies should fall under the same standard as casinos, where they have to keep a record that can be accessed through a request for public information.
I mean, they technically have to, right? Like, as long as they don't depend on their state law.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, if they're a public company, then you can request anything you want.
I mean, I seen Gary gave away a gun, so I don't know if it was real or not, though.
I gave Ellis a Glock.
Yeah, he gave me a Glock. I shot it too.
You shot it, and then so did the Palmetto State Arms for your new CZ, right?
I've got a video out there of me shooting the Glock. Do I not ghost?
Well, you attempted to.
Well, the question is, did you shoot the Glock or did you shoot the Glock?
I shot the Glock.
With a high point.
No. I do not own a high point.
How dare you?
I own many high points.
G-Web's not there anymore, is he?
No, he bailed out a while ago.
That's because I didn't know if he got the money I sent to him yesterday or not through PayPal.
Hey, first of all, everybody should own a high point. That way, when you have to blend into bad areas, you don't stand out. You don't want to be the one guy walking around with a Kimber in Oakland.
Now, the official ones is Sky CPX2. That's why you get flagged 5 or 6 at a time. So, yep.
I think they did. Somebody did. It's one of the Asian reporters. I don't remember who. But she did a thing about Chicago. She was out there. How easy is it to get a gun? To one of the people that they were talking to, they're like, here, they gave her a fucking high point.
I have a couple extras to run.
I don't know if that answers the question, though.
Yeah. Do you really consider a high point a gun?
Look, I'm gonna put it like this. I don't care where you are in the world. If you're in a major city, you can get a high point.
Pretty much. Well, see, it's a gun and a hammer and a doorstop.
It's a bludgeon tool. It's a
Boomerang.
It's a boat anchor.
boat anchor.
They get imported as paperweights. No one checks.
Yes.
And that's the crazy part about those guns. Like in that price point, they're king. Like they're
They
gonna
own the
work.
price point.
Yeah.
You know, I still wish that they would come out with a 10 millimeter. I think a lot of people just buy one just to have it.
I'll buy one if they come out with a 10.
Who wouldn't want a sub $200 10 millimeter handgun?
It's going to weigh like 30 pounds, but I'll buy
Who cares?
it.
Would it really weigh more than the 40 or the 45? Probably
Yes.
not.
Yes. I mean,
It's
it's all blowback, ain't it? Like
it's all blowback. It's going to have to be reinforced for the 10.
Okay, I'm saying because I think you can run plus P through high points, can't you?
Yep.
So
Yes,
you
you can.
run
Can you?
40 or run hot
Yes, you
45
can.
plus P through it. You would think it could handle a 10. But I'm just saying that they've already got the carbine out. You know, the magazines will be compatible between both guns. Just do a 10.
There'll be a handgun coming up pretty soon because that's the thing that they love. They love sharing matching their carbines and handguns. So
they hinted at it last year at SHOT Show too. One of you guys were talking to him.
10 millimeters making a comeback too. It's growing in popularity.
When I talked to NRA, he said that it's coming. You know.
All right.
So, are you guys interested in hearing a quick story from work yesterday?
Sure.
Man, go right ahead. Story
I
time.
mean, it's kind of your
Now
chat.
we had to listen
so
to
I guess we have
wrestling
to.
chat, so I'd a lot rather hear that.
Oh, well, there was this lady. She come in. She's 70 years old, 75 in that range. Somebody breaks into her house, and that. She's walking down the hall. She sees him. He gets scared. He runs out. She comes to the store yesterday. She's got arthritis, but she wants to buy a gun.
Oh man!
And she's first gun she's ever purchased. She's never felt the need to have one before now. And I'm going through the case, just one pistol.
You talked her out of it, didn't you?
No,
you talked her out of it.
No.
Sold her a Desert Eagle. Is that what you sold her?
Yeah, exactly. 50, no less.
500 Win Mag.
And she finally finds this SIG that she can, manipulate the slide on. And so she's happy with that. She can actually manipulate the slide without bothering her hands too much. I show her the whole push-pull method with the pistol, and she gets it. So she buys the gun. She takes the gun straight back to the range. She's back there for an hour, right? And she comes back, and she's got her targets with her. And she showed me the first target, and then she showed me the second target. And the difference between those two targets was amazing. The first was a little scared out. Second one, she's on target. She's done excellent. And she's smiling from ear to ear. She's happy. And, I watch her walk out the door, and I get this feeling, you know what? This is a lady who was afraid for her life. And I've just helped her step her foot into a door that she never thought she would ever put her foot through.
Yeah.
And
I don't believe this story for one reason. Because she never paid for training from James Yeager or similar.
Was the BZO Gun Academy or whatever. Oh, what's that?
Yeah. There's just no way she could possibly operate a gun normally successfully. She probably died back there in that range. I bet that's the real outcome of the story. She tried to handle the gun without training and died there in that range.
She didn't throw it on the ground first, damn it. She's not doing it right.
No, Yankee. What I did was I let her take my phone and watch a Paul Harold video for 5 to 10 minutes.
That'll
She
work.
was good after that.
That'll do it.
Did she fall asleep? Did she fall asleep yet?
No, I fast forwarded to the meat target.
So, Elvis, I have a question. Was the Smith & Wesson Easy 380 one of the options you handed her?
Yeah, and actually,
That's a great gun, actually, for someone who can't manipulate the slide very easily.
The options we had there, because we didn't have one of those in, we had the M&P shields, and she couldn't rack the slide on those for some reason.
Yeah.
And I can't remember which SIG it was. It was one of the little 380s.
238.
Yeah,
238.
I think that was it. And she could actually manipulate the slide easy with it. And she bought 2 boxes of rounds and went out to the range, and she was having a blast apparently. And the improvement between that first and second target, man, was amazing. I was so happy for her. I was proud at that moment to say, okay,
well,
I did good.
You're selling freedom, bro.
Yeah.
Ellis, I need you on Caliber Corner on Sunday because about a half hour ago I posted the topics, and that's actually one of them. That was a viewer request to talk about outfitting the elderly with firearms. You know, what to do, what to get them when they can't use what they used to use or need to get something. So especially behind a counter, you know.
It took me 45 minutes of going through different guns to finally find one that she really liked.
Yeah, yeah.
And, you know, she was happy with it. I was happy with it. She bought the gun, and I told her, I said, if you have any questions, any concerns, come back. I'll talk to you. Somebody else talk to you. You know, we'll get it all straightened out. And
if you have any questions, do not ask Night Strike.
No, because then you'll cut your hand open on a main spring housing that you never should.
That's right. That's right.
Wait, how do you cut your hand on a mainspring housing?
That's what Night Strike did.
We've been trying to figure that out for years now. He did it somehow.
He actually had stitches,
I took
apparently.
apart 2 or 3 of those today, and I didn't cut myself.
Yeah, well, don't ask me.
Well, you're also smarter than the average bear.
If you ask Night Strike, it's a 3-hour story on why it happened.
Oh, Jesus. We don't have...
Night Strike is just really creative on his injuries. That's all it is.
It was a dark and stormy night.
There was a lightning flash. I got scared. I jumped. Spring housing.
And I had just done some updates to GunTube, and I grabbed my 45.
And then Thunder Rose was playing in the background.
See,
Oh, God.
I remember when I had to get my mom her first handgun after the house was empty. And that was the first time I think I ever bought a 1911, anything that wasn't a 45. Was I bought her a 9mm 1911.
Double stack or single stack?
It was a single stack. She's in California.
Oh.
But it was the only thing. She's got carpal tunnel in both hands real bad. And so it was the only gun that of all the guns that she fired that didn't hurt her so much after running through a magazine.
As a matter of fact, since we're telling stories about ranges, I took my mom out here when I only had 2 guns when she was out here. I had a 9C, a high point, and I had my 40 cal high point. Don't ask me why I bought both.
You had 2 guns and they were both high points.
Yeah, I did at the time. I was broke. What do you expect? But anyway, I took her to the range, man, and she actually loved to shoot those things. And she was on target. Like,
well, the weight on the top, they really are soft shooters. I mean, there's some mass up there, but they're not like a punishing amount of recoil that you actually feel through your wrist when you shoot them. I mean, they're very light.
All that weight's got to be good for something.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
High Point advertises their guns wrong. What they need to start doing is advertise them as the ultimate multi-purpose tool.
Yep.
You know, gun, hammer, boat weight, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
they sell a shit ton of guns. They're doing something right.
They can partner with the Leatherman, so that way you have both. With those 2 tools, you can do everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you use it at boat anchor, you want to make sure you have the chamber empty, because when you pull it up and it gets hung on a rock, you might shoot a hole in the bottom of your boat. Just saying.
This is true.
All they need is a bottle opener at the bottom somewhere.
You just don't put one in the chamber. You load the magazine, put the magazine in the gun, drop it overboard.
I'll tell you the one thing when I was talking to him at NRA, I was talking to the guy off camera, and I said, what are you most proud of as a company? And he said that honestly, that the company's so proud that people, for whatever reason, he understands why, but he says a lot of people's very first guns are high points. He goes, now they don't stick with us sometimes, and they don't ever buy another one. He says, but we find that niche that we are a lot of people's first guns because they don't want to spend a lot of money if they don't like guns. And I was like, he said, we introduced them to a whole new level of community. And I was like, that's a really good answer.
That is a good answer.
Yeah, and then they brought out the $100 bill high point just for the people that just want it for fun.
Yeah.
They use new finishes on them. I mean, they've got some cool wraps and dips and stuff that they have, and I just think the carbines I love the carbines. I own one of the.
Hey, their carbines I'll put against a lot of different high dollar carbines.
God, I had one back in like 1998 when they still had the Planet of the Apes stock on it because it looked like an ape, Planet of the Apes gun or whatever is what they call it. But man, I actually like the old stock better than the new one. It always ran like a clock. And that was one of the early ones. That was back in the 90s still.
I had one forever ago and loved it. I wish I had still had it. I keep thinking I'll buy a new one.
What was everybody's first handgun that they shot?
The 22 high standard.
Ah.
My own first personal pistol I ever bought was would have been probably a Gen 2.
Oh, did you say
20 millimeter? Yeah.
No. I said shot.
Oh, shot. Oh, like a Mossberg. Yeah, we had like an old Mossberg pump shotgun in the house, so we go out shoot ski with my buddies in high school.
He said handgun, Travis. Come on.
No, I said first gun. I didn't hear what you guys were. And I said G20. Yeah.
Travis, we're going to have your hearing checked.
I'm just confused.
Well,
you're not speaking Spanish to him, so he doesn't understand.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
I'm picking it 3 languages here, so yeah, no, but
well, it's one of those languages isn't Latin, so
yes, I understand that. Yeah.
The first pistol I ever shot was actually my grandfather's old Dragoon. So my first pistol was a black powder pistol.
Oh, nice.
The first one I ever shot was my mom's high standard. The first one I ever bought was the Springfield XD.
First one I ever.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, the first one I ever shot was a Colt Woodsman, and the first one I ever bought was a Sigma.
I think the first one I ever shot was a Smith & Wesson something. I don't remember the model, but they put 38 special in there instead of 357. I was scared shitless because I was 12.
Well, now that we've covered the first gun that we all shot, what is the first handgun we all bought?
Well, first, like I said, Springfield XD.
Yep. High Point 9C.
My first handgun that I ever bought was the original MMP, which was actually I guess you can call it the Model 10, the revolver. And that's when I realized I don't like revolvers.
Sacrilege. You're supposed to love all your children equally.
I know. I'll tell you what, that's the one gun that I wish I still had because it was my first gun that I bought. That's the one gun I still wish I had.
Oh, speaking of revolvers, guys, one of the guys at work is a revolver specialist. I'm shooting. That's what he does, is train people on how to use revolvers. I'm going to take a class with him. So I intend to get very good with that GP100.
It's about time, man. Jesus.
Do they have a Glock specialist that can teach you how to shoot a good gun?
Yeah, the same guy, actually. He actually went to the Glock training, whatever it's called. They teach you everything there is to know about Glocks.
Yeah.
They teach you where the bullets come out of? Is that what they teach you?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. This is a Tupperware pistol. This is how you take it apart.
No, they just taught you. If he teaches you everything you need to know about Glocks, it's just they work every time.
Every time.
They look ugly, but they work.
Actually, it's kind of funny. My first game.
So far, my SAR has worked every time. My 1911s has worked every time. My Ruger has worked every time.
Yeah.
I don't see the upside on the Glock.
My first gun was actually a Glock 20.
Yeah,
And I got it's kind of funny. But the first handgun I bought was also when I got into contracting, and I got in trouble because I was supposed to buy a 9mm.
If you're supposed to buy a 9, a 10's got to be better.
You would think.
Well, the crap thing about the 10mm back in the day is the ammo. It's so expensive. Now there's so many more options, but it was such a pricey round.
Yeah, it was pricey, but I liked it. I liked it better. But I got yelled at because I was supposed to buy a gun that would be uniform ammunition-wise with everybody else I'd be working with.
Well, this way you just want to share it. That's the way I see it.
I just looked at all of them and I told them to fucking man up and fire a real caliber. Nothing like being 22 years old and telling a group of veterans that.
Oh, man.
Yeah, how'd that go for you?
I got a lot of shit for it, but I also earned a lot of respect.
You're kidding. I'm sure you did.
Just drink it through a straw for a couple months, but otherwise.
Well, it was one of those things because I grew up with my dad being a veteran and everything, so I understood the concept of they're going to talk shit and give shit back because you don't want to be the guy that can't take it.
Oh, so you lived through Gran Torino then? I gotta admit, man, that movie was fucking amazing.
Gran Torino was awesome.
Gran Torino is one of those movies that you can watch over and over and just never get tired of it.
He's coming out with
Blazing Saddles.
Yeah, he's coming out with a new one about him being a drug runner.
Yeah,
The Mule.
The Mule. Yeah.
How old is
He's a drug runner because he ain't gonna carry very many.
Oh, we're talking about, dude. The average drug runner looks like him.
Yeah, it's like, what's the deal? He's like losing his home or something, so he decides to start running drugs for the cartel in his pickup. Because he looks like he's a senior citizen driving a pickup. There's no, last person you would ever suspect.
Is he driving the 72 Ford still?
Yes.
No, he's like a brand new F-150 in the movie.
Oh.
I mean, I personally, but that's just
dude,
me.
Old people are used for running drugs all the time because nobody suspects them. You'd be amazed at the people they find that are in hard positions. They turn into their mules to take stuff into the cities.
Gary's like, ooh, job opportunity.
Yep, exactly. That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
Gary's gonna jump on that shit.
But the damn deer will hit Gary's car and he won't get to make it there with him.
Gary's got a secret weapon too, George.
You just don't want little Chapos knocking on your door going, "Where is my meth?"
George ate it.
That's when you put George out in front and you say, "I wouldn't come any closer. He's an attack cat."
I want to change topics for a second. We got to make fun of my home state real quick. Can we do that for a second, Ellis?
Absolutely.
What's your state again, Trevor?
We are popping up a lot in the news lately because our new travel slogan got released. And I don't know what bitter millennial they handed this job off to. Have you guys seen what our new travel slogan is for the state?
No.
I'm sorry, I don't know where you live, Travis.
Okay, I'm 3 states north of you. That's where I am. So just keep going north. You're going to drive right by me. Of course, we look like everybody else except for Oklahoma. So yeah. The new Nebraska travel slogan is: this is what they said. It is honestly, it's not for everyone.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding. You can hear it.
Well, at least it's honest.
He even chimed in last night, and he goes, "Nebraska, are you guys okay right now?" That was started talking about it. Yeah, it is. Honestly, it's not for everyone.
It's like one step above. It's like one step above.
Wow, that's like saying, "Hey, Ghost, you can stay with us, but you got to be out by noon tomorrow." That's exactly. It's like,
wow. You are officially more depressing than Iowa.
Here you go.
See, like that's like one step above. Hey, it's not Detroit.
Yeah, a lot better.
Honestly, it's not for everyone. I mean, I'm going to start using that excuse for everything now, all the time. Oh, your state sucks. Well, honestly, it's not for everyone. I'm just going to use that. That's my excuse for everything now, because it's our official slogan. I have to get our.
I mean, here's the thing. So I want to say this is I know you're worried about who made the slogan. I want to know who okayed the slogan.
Did the governor?
Someone says, I like that. That's good. That's good. We'll use that.
Oh God.
Well, that's because they picked some confused, 8 different gender individual. They're like, well, if I tell them I don't like it, they're gonna file charges for hate speech.
So my wife is explaining it to me. She goes, what they do in the commercial for the TV commercial for us, they show like the desolate prairie, but then they show families at the park, and they show like the brutal winters, but then they show the hunter out in the woods. So they're giving you these contrasts. But I'm like, you don't get that if you don't see the commercial. You're like, God, these people are stuck up, man. It's like, well, you don't like it, you can leave. It kind of is in the same vein as one of those people that says, sorry, we don't serve your kind here. That's exactly what it reminds me of. Yeah, no, don't argue with me, honey. This is exactly how
Nebraska. Nebraska. It's okay.
If I saw that on somebody's license plate, I would just assume they were
advertising. Okay, I thought it was being commercial. Well, I'm sorry. I'm arguing with the wife right now, so it's all good.
It's all right.
You don't get that just reading it, though. You don't get that when you just read it. It just sounds like
If I just saw, like I said, if I saw that on a license plate on some, those little vanity plate holders, I would just assume they were on antidepressants.
Yeah, I want that on my license. I want that license plate holder. I'm gonna start. You know what? I'm gonna start making those and sell them on eBay. I think everybody's gonna want one.
It's okay. I wrote in for what I think California's new slogan should be, but I don't think it'll get accepted.
Oh God. Honestly, that's not for everyone.
Yeah.
Need a needle? Just pick one up.
They can borrow our old or put in italics or something.
That's like here in Arkansas. We say Arkansas. Yeah, some of us read. I mean, that's just
okay.
What the hell?
From the chat.
Nebraska. It's not for everybody. That's crazy.
Yeah, Ella, you got a question out there for you?
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear it.
I have a question, guys. Can you recommend a training bolt action rifle for accuracy?
Ooh, good question.
Bolt action, good bolt action rifle to help you. I don't know if we're talking optics or iron sights.
Well, what distance? What are we shooting?
We don't know. So Ed, if you're out there, you need to elaborate, buddy.
Yeah. Are you talking rifle or caliber or
recommend a training?
No,
bolt
I think he wants to go to try and kill hookers about 100 yards away.
Yeah, that's a very wide open question. So, I mean, I could sit here and tell you for accuracy at distance, starting out 6.5 millimeter, anything 6 millimeter would be good.
If we're talking platform, I'm biased. I'm going to say, because it comes in just about every caliber now, platform wise, if you want a hunting rifle, survival rifle, anything Mossberg MVP.
Ed says yes, the bolt action rifle will train at 100.
Okay.
MVP. It'll take all your AR mags and run any kind of ammo you want.
Stupid question. Do we want to go with like maybe a little bit nicer 22 LR since you're talking? You really want to
at 100 yards? I would go with something with a bit heavier.
Maybe 223, something 223.
240, yeah, 243, 270 would probably be good.
308.
Do they make a 458 SOCOM boat action? That'd be awesome.
They do. I think, it's either 450 SOCOM or 450 Bushmaster that Ruger makes.
Ruger makes a 450 Bushmaster.
They make a Bush, yeah. They make a Bush. Yeah.
I think that company's got the lockdown on the patent, so there's not a lot of companies that make the 450 SOCOM. It's kind of limited.
Or I'll go you a better. I go you even better one than that. Get you a 30-06, make from a decent company. Use their lighter ammunition, because you have to remember the 30-06. You can go as low as 100 grain bullet, all the way up to a 250. So you've got a whole range of stuff you can use right there, and those lighter bullets are going to be extremely flat shooting and accurate.
Sure.
100 yards.
Yep.
Either get you a 308 or a 223. They're both really cheap to shoot when you just want to sit down and just plink.
Yeah, if you're just plinging a plate or paper at 100 yards.
Yeah, but the reason I said the 30-06 was because, okay, it's a rifle that, hey, you might start off plinking with, or target practicing with, whatever. But if you want to step it up and go hunting with it, you've got a rifle right there that is quite capable of killing any big game in this country.
I'm not a 30-06 fan. I think a 308 will outshoot it.
I'm not sure about that.
I would go 308 just because I like my platform options better.
I go 6.5 Creedmoor all the way.
Well, 6.5 Creedmoor is good.
If I'm not hunting deer or something with it, I'm going 22-250 all the way.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I love my 22-250, and it's just in an axis.
Yeah, that's extreme accuracy right there.
But those suckers scream.
Yeah, we're talking what? 3,200 feet per second, something like that?
A little more than that, I think. I'd have to go get a box of ammo.
So I did find one. It's called the Bishop for the 458 SOCOM. Huh.
What's that now?
Bolt Action 458 SOCOM. And they do make one. It's called the Bishop.
Who does?
$3,000.
Who makes it?
Let's see here. I think it's actually That's the name of the people who make it. Bishop
Oh,
Ammunition
okay. I never heard of them. Okay. $3,000, huh?
It looks nice.
It
But
better.
yeah, no.
You can run a 40
shit.
grain at 4,200 feet per second, Ellis. The ones I shoot are, let's see, 3580.
Yeah, that's
It's
scalding.
it's mag fed, holds 7 rounds, and
Now, how much does that weigh?
ooh,
Your rifle.
let's see here.
Well, it cost about 50 pounds in gold, so.
Yeah.
Yep. It doesn't have the weight on here.
No, I meant your rifle. How much does your rifle itself weigh?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have a rifle, man. I had to get rid of it.
Because I know every 22-250 I've ever picked up, they were made for target shooting, and they were heavy.
Oh, mine? I'm the one that has a 2250.
Oh,
Mine is just a Savage Axis, so it's just a synthetic stock normal rifle.
I like those little axes, though. Those are nice guns.
Yeah.
Does the Thompson Compass TC or whatever come in that also? Because I know they got those on sale. Cabela's.
I'm pretty sure it does. And those have the threaded barrel.
Yeah, they're $249 at Cabela's this weekend after a $50 rebate for any caliber that they have in stock. No optics, but you got a rail on there. So if you want to get yourself into an inexpensive bolt action, that's what you got. $229, I think, is what's in the ad right now.
I love the 2250 for coyote hunting.
Oh, yeah.
What would y'all use for boar hunting, though?
$300.
Well, it depends on where you're going boar hunting.
From helicopter?
Distance.
No, just wherever.
Every
blackout.
Yeah, so the
300 blackout will do the job. Just
300
about anywhere
blackout,
you go.
30-30.
Yeah. I would say 300. You might want something that's going to have a quick follow-up shot in case you get charged.
Yeah.
Yeah, but 30-30 lever action, you can pull that trigger. You can run it just about as fast as you can a semi-auto.
Sure.
And that's a fairly accurate round at close range.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much anything 30 up is going to do you right. So
I don't know. I'd use a 22 hog hunting if it was me. There's a whole herd of vicious ones. It'd be fun.
I just go semi-auto 6.5 Creedmoor. Just kidding.
that's a waste of that. That's a waste of that bullet.
Am I the only person that still likes the 35 Remington?
I got nothing against the 35 Remington. I just don't own one or ever see the ammo.
It's hard to find, but it's ballistically superior to the 30-30, and more accurate as far as I'm concerned. It's a great little round. I don't know why it didn't pick up more than it did.
Well, if there's not a line of manufacturers behind the round, it's going to be a Wildcat round or an East round, and you'll be lucky if it makes it.
You want a fun round to shoot? Load some 30-30 accelerators. Those are fun.
What are they? I guess I'm not familiar with them.
They're a 22 caliber in a sabot, and you load them in your 30 caliber cartridge. But you can, in a 30-30, you can only load 2 in the gun because of pointed tips. But
yeah.
When I was a kid, we used to shoot them all the time, and 300 yards is nothing for a 30-30 with one of them. Back before the days of the ballistic tip bullets.
Mm-hmm.
I actually want to take some of this 10 millimeter Hornady custom that I have, and I want to see what it would do against like a boar. Because when this
How
stuff,
big of a boar?
I'll get a dead one to test it on. I don't want to test it on something live because I can't guarantee a humane kill. But I'm curious about what it'll do because I got some of this ammo from my gun shop the guy gave me, and it is the hottest 10 millimeter I've ever fired.
I was gonna say, if it's a hot 10 millimeter, I wouldn't worry about it at all on a hog. I think it'll easily take a hog.
That's
I have breaking news.
You got the custom? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I have breaking news from the state of Arkansas. The red flag laws that were proposed in the state legislature were just shot down today, so they are going bye-bye.
All right.
Good thing. Good job.
Good. I don't want any state close to me getting this crap passed.
Yeah, I'm out of
it never had a chance, but it was
I'm
just
out of the loop
formality.
here. What was the red flag law?
They brought up red flag laws in Arkansas saying that if you were found to be temporarily incapable of owning a firearm, they could seize your firearms for 72 hours. After 72 hours, if the judge still deemed you incoherent enough to not own a firearm, they could extend it to an indefinite amount of time, and they shot it down today, so it's gone bye-bye.
Thank God.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Well, what scared
That
me
is
is when you say after 72 hours, the judge could extend it for an indefinite amount of time. That's a scary word right there when you say indefinite.
Well, what scares me with some of those red flag laws is that they're kind of vague about what qualifies you to fall under them.
Exactly.
So I have a question for you guys.
Yo.
Guy goes to jail. He gets out of jail. He's done his time. Does he get his rights to own guns back?
In Nebraska, you have to get a governor pardon.
So prior to 1945, everybody in this country got their gun rights back.
And are we talking about felony time, or are we talking about just regular? What are we talking about?
No, let's say a guy's, gets caught with, a pound of marijuana. He goes to jail 15 years. He comes out. Does he get his guns back? Does he get his right to carry a gun back?
I'm gonna put
only the pardon.
I'm going to put this really simple. If it was up to me, I would go back to the way the law was supposed to work. If I cannot trust you with a firearm, I cannot trust you outside of a cage.
That's what I was fixing to say, because there's too many other, I've said that before in chats. There's too many other weapons out there that they can have, a car. No problem getting that when they get out of prison.
I'm just going to put it like that. If our rehabilitation system, and this is where they need to be honest, is so messed up that we can't rehabilitate you, then don't get out. Okay? If we're letting that, if I go and I serve time for committing a crime, and you're telling me this is the punishment you get because you did X, then I should have my rights restored after I've paid the penalty that I'm paying. That's the agreement that we had when we put these laws and stuff in the books. This whole extended losing your rights business didn't even happen, like I said, until after 1945. Pre-1945, if you robbed a bank, the day you got out of jail, they gave you your gun back.
I can see, okay, you're a violent felon. You do 20 years, you get out. Okay, no, you're not getting a gun.
I disagree.
I can see if you could work towards that. But like you said, violent felon coming straight out of the prison now.
No,
because you got to reacclimate after that. Because let's face it, prison ain't good. It's not good on the psyche whatsoever.
Make sure that he is rehabilitated. I would want to make sure that he is. And I'm not saying don't ever give this guy a gun again, because in my opinion, even a felon has a right to defend himself. And if you think that he's not a felon, if you think that, let me rephrase that. If you think that he's not rehabilitated, then don't let him the hell out. Keep him in there. A kid goes in at 20, he gets out at 35. Are we going to punish him the rest of his life for something he did when he was a kid?
We do.
20 years old is still a kid.
Yeah.
I was still a kid at 20 years old. So, that is one of those situations where you're just, do you give them the rights back, all the rights, including the right to bear arms, or do you just leave it as it is now and say, no, you're a felon forever?
No, because this felon forever is the exact problem of why you have so many people who have to go back to committing crime.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's the thing. Like I said before, prior to 1945, throughout this country, some states had changed it. Federally speaking, you got your rights back. Employers, I don't know when exactly this year changed. This happened sometime after the 50s. But employers used to not be able to ask you for your criminal record. That used to not be something that was asked, because the concept is it made it too hard for people who screwed up to get their lives back together. And somewhere along the way, and I think part of where this came in was they got kind of loosey-goosey with some of the lesser crimes. So the idea was, well, this crime is just a slap on the wrist. This crime is just a slap this. And so then they ended up in these weird things where people really weren't getting punished for their crimes. And that's where this whole people giving up their rights when they get out of jail thing came from. And it's not right. Because for some jobs, I mean, there might be a guy who's perfect for a certain job, but he might not ever get it because of something he did when he was 19. You know?
You know, I say if you can prove they're rehabilitated, you're letting them out, you're putting them back on the street. Give them time to prove that they are indeed rehabilitated. They get a job. They become a productive member of society once again. You know, then yeah, okay, I see that. But straight out of jail,
not actually straight out of jail, because you still because the way jail is now, it's gonna fuck with your psyche, man. It really is. It's either you're in a car or you're not in a car, and if you're not in the car, you're getting fucked up. If you are in the car, you're getting fucked up in a different way.
Well, here's an interesting look on this for you. While you're in jail, your well-being is, granted, enough terrible things happen in jail, but in theory, your well-being is at the company or the state, depending if your jail is a private jail or not. Okay, your well-being is their quote unquote responsibility, right?
Sort of.
Yeah, like I said, we know that's not how it works, but that's how it's supposed to work on paper, at least. When you get out of jail, well, my point is, if the jail, if somebody comes to shoot up the jail, the guards are supposed to quote unquote protect you. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
All right. When you get out of jail and somebody then comes and breaks into your apartment and murders you, and you didn't have the ability to defend yourself because they said, no, you don't get to own a gun anymore. They, as far as I'm concerned, are partly responsible for your murder because they did not enable you to protect yourself, and they put you out into the world that is a dangerous place. Because let's face it, the average convict ain't moving uptown when he gets out.
Well, here's my problem with it all. And then I got to jump out and go to bed. But the biggest problem is our prison system and the rehabilitation. Like you said, they should either be in jail forever till they die, or they are rehabilitated and out on the street with all their rights, just like anyone else. Because once they get out of jail, they can still have a car. So if they want to kill somebody, it's that easy.
Yeah.
You don't need a gun.
Reform we need to do.
The thing about it is common sense says you don't need a gun to kill somebody. You know,
it helps, but you
can run over somebody with a car. You can,
a framing hammer.
A framing hammer, a hatchet.
Hammers work nice and they're quiet.
A machete, because they can own a machete.
A bow and arrow. As far as I know, a felon can own a bow and arrow, can't he?
Black powder gun.
Yeah, under federal law, they can own a black powder. A lot of states prevent it, but federal doesn't.
Okay, Travis, you take care.
Travis, you guys tomorrow, man. Yep.
I'm jumping out too. I gotta go to bed. Some of us have to work.
You two take care. I will see you all next time. Travis, I will try to be on your show Sunday morning. I ain't making no promises.
No problem.
I don't know what time I gotta be at work.
Show up Sunday 8 o'clock, man. You'll be right on time.
Sunday, Saturday, man.
Travis, if you could email me that address.
Yeah, Saturday, Sunday, whatever.
I'll do that.
As a matter of fact, guys, I got to get going too. I appreciate the time, Outlaw. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey, not a problem at all. Right. Glad to have you.
Peace out, guys.
Yep, y'all take care. Dog, next week I want to get that one-on-one with you if you're up for it.
Yeah, like I said, I'll try to get your book mailed out tomorrow so that way we can actually have it to talk about.
Okay. Well, next Monday I will have the live interview with me and Dog, and then the Monday after that, Ghost will be me and you.
Should be fun.
Okay. We was actually supposed to do the me and Ghost thing tonight, but Matt didn't show up for his because his internet went out. So I figured, okay, I'll just go live and take care of both slots for tonight. So hopefully he gets his internet fixed and he will be back tomorrow night for Guns and Geeks. And I will see you all then. So, but I'm going to call this one closed. Potatoes, you caught us at the back end, buddy. I'm sorry. Anyway, guys, I'm calling this one done for the night. Yosh, you got anything to plug?
Nope. Thanks for having me.
Hey, anytime, brother. Gary, what you got over there, buddy?
Hey, not a whole lot. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. Dog?
Thanks for having me. For those of you guys that are also dog people, go out and check out muscledogmafia.com. We're a full website, free information, free forum.
Thank you for the information. Thank you for the books. Are you writing another one?
I have a couple books in the works. I want to see what kind of feedback I get from this one, and then I'll dive into topics based on what people tell me they want to know more about.
Cool deal, man. We can't wait. Potatoes, you got anything to plug, brother?
Yeah, if anyone's got a Beretta 92 or 96 magazine, preferably an old beat-up one that doesn't work, I'm looking to buy one. Also, support your local Chinese restaurant.
Take all the stray cats to them. They'll love you for it. Anyway, guys, I'm out of here. I will see you all again next week. Remember, tomorrow night we have no show because I will be at work tomorrow night. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that Tuesday night show yet. I might have to move that to a different day of the week, depending. But we do have Hit or Miss Tuesday nights at 9. We have Ghost Tactical coming up at 8 o'clock tomorrow night, Ghost.
8 Eastern, yeah.
Now, 8 Eastern. And ladies and gentlemen, remember the Daily Gun Show is on every night at midnight. Support G-Webs, support gun channels. We appreciate all of you. Good night.